because exponents is one of the things that's generally tricky for people to do here, and I want to make sure you're feeling, I want to make sure you guys are feeling fairly good about this. Can I get a volunteer to start, because this is a mess? Noah, go ahead.
So it would be 3 power 8.
Okay, so just notice what he did not do. What some people will do is just do 3 squared in their calculator. Please don't do that. Just assume it's a number. If you guys start changing 3 squared to 9, and 3 to the 4 to 81 or whatever, I'm going to start changing the question so we end up with like thousands on behind every exponent, okay? Because we should just be able to do the rules. That's all we're working on here, okay? Very soon in math, numbers will be gone. We'll be dealing with variables like the x's and the y's, so get out of the habit. On the test, which I'm almost done, if you can't sleep without knowing your mark, come see me at lunch and I can give you your test. Okay, so there's a few that I still have to finish up, but I'm about 80% done in the class. This is a question that was difficult for people, okay? There made a lot of little mistakes on it, that's why I wanted to do one like this now. Okay, can I get a brave soul? Thank you, Noah, to do the denominator for me, please. Oh, Noah's the only person that knows his exponent was in the entire class. Noah, that's wonderful. Yeah, go ahead. Yes. Yeah. Now notice what she did there, thank you, was, again, it was multiplying, right? 3 times 3 is 9, there's an invisible 1. We're not adding, some people were adding on their test there. Okay, there's one thing I can do to simplify the numerator. Could someone be brave? Someone new to simplify the numerator for me, please? Okay, it's okay to raise your hand. Okay, no one's going to say, oh my goodness, look at Cassie, she just raised her hand, okay. What's the numerator change into? Sorry, the 2 people have already raised their hand. Right? Somebody new, please. Let's not picking on Luke. Luke, simplify the numerator for me, please. Oh my goodness. Somebody help me. Yeah, go ahead. Yes? Great. Okay, so, wonderful, by the way. What happened there was we just multiplied, so when you multiply bases, you just add the exponents, right? So we just did 2 plus 8 is going to give you 10. Okay, again, we're doing bedmaster again, so we're going to simplify the brackets here next. I got a 4th person. Tell me, please, what I do to simplify the brackets, please. Oh, the power. Alistair, go ahead.
Subtract
Good.
3 to the 1,
And then y to the 0, okay, which is nothing. Now, one thing I didn't actually take off marks for, but I will in the future if I ever give you another exponent question, which I might. How do you deal with that negative exponent? Because remember, I wrote on the test, since I wasn't here, I didn't punish you guys for that, okay? But I said no negative exponents. I didn't take off any marks when you can do this. How do you deal with a negative exponent? What's a negative exponent? Together? Right. There's 1 extra in the denominator than the numerator. Good. So this could be like 3 to the 1 over x to the 1. And this y is going to be gone. You can write it like that. Okay. So a negative exponent, all it means that there's more variables in the denominator than the numerator. Now, if you don't believe me, let's look at our power rule. This is like x to the 0 in the numerator, and there's an x to 1 in the denominator, so it's like 0 minus 1, so that's negative 1, right? That's where the rule comes from. Okay, I'm so close to being done, but not quite. Somebody give me the last step. Oh, you guys are so wide awake and full of zip. Okay, yesterday there was a snow day, and for those that were here, we didn't do anything yesterday, so you need to like double up. Okay, what's our last step here? Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. Somebody please put me out of my misery here. Yes. Yeah? That's why Spider-Man has to come back. Okay, because the enthusiasm gets enough. Okay, now please be brave. Since I keep going through this again and again and again, I want to make sure this is somewhat clear for people. Any questions on this? I know not everyone understands this, so I just marked your tests. I know that not everyone understands this. Yes?
So, you got 3 to the 10?
Yes.
So you
Yes.
wouldn't have to, because you don't have to like multiply what's on the x.
No. Okay, no, good question. Wonderful question. The only reason you would have had to do that, because you're thinking of a question like this, right? Where you have to multiply the 3 by what's inside. The reason we have to do this is because like there's a plus there, right? So there's 2 terms on the inside, so the 3 hits both. There's only 1 term here, it's a big term. right? So you don't have to hit each part because it's like it's only one term. Okay, right? So there's not like different parts to hit it into. Okay, anybody else there before we keep going? Please be brave. No? All right, let's move on to warm-up B. Now this is one, again, that was probably a little bit tricky to get worked out here. I'm going to show you how to do this today and nice and easy. Hopefully the answer still worked out well for you. Okay, I'm going to ask for volunteers again. I don't know why, because this was painful the first time through. I'm going to try it again. Can I get somebody brave to start with the first step? No, go.
Isolate X.
Sounds good. Okay. Now again, two reasons why that probably makes sense. Number one, because X, that's the smallest coefficient. Secondly, 3 and 6 go together. Okay, right? So that's probably the second reason. If you choose 4 here, there's fractions everywhere. 4 there, there's fractions everywhere. Okay, can someone know the Noah isolate X for me from the first equation? Somebody please be brave. Bailey, go. Good. Okay, I'll do it in 2 steps, but thank you. You're right, though. So to divide this by 3, divide this by 3, and divide this by 3. So x equals -2 minus 4 over 3y. I call that equation 3. Now I did that very fast because I'm hoping most people had that on the page. Is there any question on how we did that, right? So again, it's just like you're solving for a variable, right? Everything else moves over except for what you want, and then you divide by the coefficient in front of every term. Okay, now again, there are fractions here, so it's scary. After today's lesson, we won't have to deal with fractions, okay, which is why I'm teaching today's lesson, all right? What do I do now with that? Yeah, Alistair, go.
Plug into the second equation, so before brackets -2 minus 4 over 3y plus 5y equals -2.
Lovely, I'll do that over here. So it's going to be 4 bracket -2 minus 4 over 3y plus 5y. Can you guys see what we did on that fraction work? Oh, hello, hello. You guys see what we did on that fraction work now in the first chapter? Now this is easy compared to what we did in our first test, right? Like this is nothing as far as fractions. So you should have great confidence in yourselves. Can someone be brave and tell me how to make this simpler? Alistair, sorry you're out because you were just there. Sorry, I apologize. Somebody else. Oh, no what? That's it? Hannah, go ahead. Good. You did 8 over 3, 16, that's what you did. So -8 minus 16 over 3 y plus 5. Okay. Can somebody tell me how Hannah got -16 over 3? Because that's confusing to me. Yeah, go ahead. Very good. Okay, so 4, it's like 4 over 1. So 4 times 4 is -16, and then 1 times 3 still stays 3. Okay, there's 2 ways to do this. Somebody try and give me a way I could solve this. Yeah, go ahead, Jessica. Multiply everything by 3. Now, Jessica, can you explain to the class why you decided to multiply everything by 3?
So you don't want fractions.
We don't, what's that going to do for us is to get rid of the fractions. Now again, I like fractions because I'm a math teacher, but most people like to avoid fractions when they can, okay? So I'm going to just write that as 3 times -8 minus 3 times 16 over 3y plus 3 times 5y equals -3 times 7. Okay, can someone show off their mental skills here and tell me what 3 times -8 is, and then 3 times, Calvin, go. Yeah? Yeah, so plus 15, but yeah. Very good. Okay, so what Calvin did there in 1 step, and that's wonderful. -3, remember the whole purpose is to get rid of the fraction, right? So this -3 just crosses with 3 in the denominator there, and they're left with -16. Okay, this looks like algebra time. Aiden, how you feeling? You're still sick. Are you okay? You're better? Okay. Caleb, you want to show off your algebra skills to the class, please? You can do it.
Alright, so now you do like
Sounds good? Yeah. Keep going.
I
like use the 24 over.
Perfect. What does that turn into? When you get across?
It would be negative 16y plus 15y
Yeah.
equals 3.
Yeah, 3. I'll do it in 2 steps because I'm a math teacher. Okay, right, but the negative 24 on the left turns to plus 24 on the right. Okay, great. Now, neaten this up for you. That turns to be negative y equals 3. So y equals negative 3. So somebody explain to me how I went from negative y equals 3 to y equals negative 3, what I did there? Bailey, what did I do? Divide by negative 1 or times by negative 1, right? And then flips both sides. Okay. Now, even with all those fractions, you end up with a nice value of y. Isn't that magical? I think it is because I'm a math teacher. Okay, right? But it worked out nicely for a change. All right, how do I get my x? Yeah, go ahead, Tyson. Okay. So to get x, sub y equals negative 3 into, I'm going to sub into this one. Was it 2 minus 4, no, negative 2 minus 4/3 y, was that right? Okay. I'm going to sub into that one, okay, but either one will work. Okay. So it's going to be x equals negative 2 minus 4/3 negative 3, which changes to negative 2 plus 4. So y equals, so x equals 2. Is that right? So we get a matching answer. Is that most of it? Therefore, the POI is 2. Okay, that is tricky with substitution, what we just did there. Okay, in fact, it's relatively difficult. Yeah, correct? Yeah.
If it was like 4/2, and like you just put it in that.
Yeah. Okay, so good question. Okay, wonderful question. Can I go to the left-hand board? Are most people done with the left-hand board? Yes? Okay, I'm going to slide across. So the question was, let's say I'm distributing a fraction. That was basically your question, right? So let's say we do something like this. Let's say it was something messy like that. Okay. So what you're going to do is, again, 2/3 times x is just going to be 2/3 x. Right? Because there's like no coefficient that goes in there. So that one's easy. Now this one's a little trickier here. All you're going to do then is the same thing. Multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. So this is going to be 2 times 3 is 6, and 3 times 4 is 12. And since I'm a math teacher, I like those terms. So it's the same rules as the regular distributive, but because the fraction, you know what I mean, it's going to do the 2 parts. I'm going to hit pause in the video, and then we're going to get started with today's lesson. Yes? Oh, good question. Okay, I'll do this on the side right here. So negative 4/3 times negative 3 changes into negative 4 times negative 3 is plus 12 over 3, which is just 4. So what I just did really in my head, Noah, was I just crossed 3 and 3, and then a negative and negative and a positive. That's what I did in my head. Okay, I'm going to hit pause in the video. If there's any other questions, you guys can ask them as I'm pausing, and then we'll get going on to today's lesson. Now, this is an alternative to